Hello, everyone, and welcome to part two of Gant Laborde on the show, teaching us how machine learning works. Gant, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, I can't keep away.
So do you want to set the tone for why we are
Yeah.
immediately back on stream together?
Yeah, this was I think we were having so much fun. We got stuck in a little bit of a yarn issue yesterday, and we were just like, we know how interesting this could be. And so I think like right there at the end, we went a little bit over and we finally got what you see on the screen, which is this lovely bearded lady from Unsplash. And it just started getting fun right when we finished. So like we missed all the fun part. So I think that's like a good part of what we should do today. Is like,
Yeah. So
yeah,
so basically, what ended up happening was I couldn't figure out how computers worked, and
yeah,
so we
so
lost a decent chunk of time yesterday. And then after we got off the stream, both Gant and I independently kept working on this project. Like he was like, "Hey, I bought some masks that would be fun to put on people. They're like spooky and fun." And I was like, "Hey, I figured out what the hell I did wrong." So that we can actually work on this some more. And then we decided that we might as well just hop on and actually like finish this up. So our goal is
yeah.
we want to do the math for how to position this properly. Because right now the way this is done is we found a face, but we're like manually doing the positioning and resizing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we actually want to calculate like how far across is her face from like here to here, so that we can resize the image properly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so a little bit of like level setting here. The first thing that we did was Gantt, or let me see. I set up this template. Let me share my this this thing. Um,
Yes.
so I built this template that we can overlay on a face to see like here's where the eyeballs should be, and here is like roughly the shape of the face. And I did this by tracing my own. I put my own face in here just to get like a general idea. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then what we ended up doing was, oh hey, we got a Chris Demars in the chat. What's up, Chris?
Oh
Um,
man, is that Chris Demars? Really? Oh my goodness.
so once we've got this template in here, then I was able to like position the beard. So
Mm-hmm.
like this is roughly the way we would want that to work. And then Gant bought all these really fun, or no, wait, that one's not legal. Don't look at that one. That's one I found out. It's like clip art. But then Gant found these like masks
Yeah.
that we bought off, what was it? Graphic River?
Graphic River.
Yeah. So we bought these masks, and
Yeah.
now we positioned all of these on the page so that we can like put these on people's faces.
Oh, this
Um,
is so good already.
and
I
so
love these masks so much.
they're so good. Like, look at this spooky pumpkin skull. Like, what? Why does this exist? It's so good. Um, but and so anyway, so we've got all these masks, right? These like fun, spooky
Yeah.
masks. And what's fun about these masks is that because of the way this template is set up, if we
Mhm.
save this as a PNG, this like square area, no matter what like mask we put, because we positioned it over the top of this template, it will sit on the right place. So like if someone wanted to like make their own hats or something, they could just use this template and like put a hat like here. And if they use our machine learning stuff, like once we've written the code, it will sit at the right place on their head.
Yeah.
So anyways, to kind of accomplish all of this, we put together all of these overlays. So we've got like the beard, and then the monster mask, and the
Oh
clown and
man.
stuff. And so don't look at that pumpkin. Why do I keep showing that pumpkin?
Right, you gotta just delete that
I
pumpkin.
got to get that pumpkin out of here. Like that's I'm gonna get in trouble for that. So these are the ones that are legal for us to use.
Yeah.
And so we can kind of cycle through these, and you can see like they're all in a big transparent area. So our goal is to get this template positioned right on top of somebody's face, so that we can then drop in the masks and they'll look right. Um,
Yes.
so to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find, I think I already, is this it? Yeah, so this is it. So I've got this overlay. I want to go into our code that we wrote yesterday. And instead of using the beard, I'm going to put in the overlay, which is here. So let's drop that into our images folder. We'll put this in here. Okay. And then in here, I'm going to use overlay.png. And this is immediately going to look really bad. But that's okay. Let me pull this back over. So
Right.
it's okay because we expect it to look bad because this one is manually positioned, right? So we can see that this is clearly not doing what we want. So it's, but it is like being positioned, and that's good. So
right, the width of it is for like from side to side covers our face, but that now it's just a subset of the image, so it can't spill over. Yeah, we've definitely got to fix that.
Yeah. So Gant, this is where I'm going to need your help because we got to do a bunch of math. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a utility function, and because we're adding a bunch of masks, let's call it like maskify. And then
Yep.
At this point, I kind of need you to start teaching me math.
All right. So first of all, how many fingers do I have?
This is the maximum. This many is as many we can do.
This many. That's how much we can do. So a couple of things that we are going to need to do that we don't think we got a chance to do yesterday is that one, we're going to want to figure out the width of the face, and fortunately enough, the 68 points has a jawline.
So I'm actually going to do one thing really quick. Let me pull all of this out.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
And then I want to put it in here. And then I'm also going to move this over. What I want to do is I just want to turn this into something that's like, eventually it would be really fun if we could share this and not have it be React dependent. So if we make this into like a function that we can just call inside a use effect. So let me
close your ears, Facebook.
Let's see. Let's go. We'll call this maskify, and then we'll export. Or I guess we can just do it up here. Export. Okay. Nice. And then I'm going to import maskify from util maskify. Okay. And then in here, I can just call it. And if, assuming I didn't just break anything, that should just work. And nope, it didn't. Like, container is not defined. So, we need to pass in our container. Current is probably what we want to do. And then down here, we can just do that, and we'll pass in a container. Cool. And then I think that'll just work.
Survey says. Aha.
Excellent. Okay. So,
very nice.
Yeah. Good deal. And now so let's review what we've got. And so what we're doing right now is we're loading in the tiny face detector and the 68 point face landmarks. Yes. And those are coming in from the models. Those are set in here somewhere here. And so these we just pulled down from the Face API. Those are just on the GitHub for us to grab.
And you can delete those SSD ones too, because we did get past that when we got stuck the other day. We were pulling down a 7 megabyte model, trying to figure out. Actually, what was really funny is yesterday we got to the point where we started doing like, all right, tap your head 3 times, spin around, never wash your socks, like it was sacrifice to the live demo gods. It was getting. We were trying to figure that problem out.
It went poorly for us. Okay, so we've got our image. So there's a couple things that we're probably gonna have to mess with here because like that's not gonna scale. But so we grab an image, we get our detection, which we use the Face API to find a single face. So this will find the most. Is it the most prominent face or is it the furthest left face?
I believe that it's grabbing the highest face accuracy. So when you say do a single detection, it has one of the numbers, if you inspect that, is like how much it's sure that's a face.
I,
So you,
this is 95% of a face.
we're pretty sure you got a face, buddy. So if you want to insult your friends,
You're like, oh,
you can
you've
all
got.
line up and see who has the least likely to have a face.
Now, I don't know if for you who are watching at home, I just switched from this coffee to this coffee because it's that kind of morning. Then, okay, so we get a detection, and then we
Yep.
just, if we don't find a face, we just bail. So the idea is
Yes.
that if we have a picture of like a tree or something, it's not going to try to put a mask on a tree because that would be silly because trees don't wear masks. Then we grab the left eye, which we have named after TLC's rapper, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, rest in peace. And then let's see, we're logging the detection, which we don't really need anymore. Then we create an element, which we're currently calling beard, but we should call it overlay. And I'm actually think I'm just gonna leave it empty because we don't want it to be meaningless. I guess we could just say like mask overlay or something.
That works, and then maybe eventually we can come back to like create like a smart object for each of the masks. Like it could have like cutesy names and things like that, and overlay. You can get like a little bit better with that.
Yeah.
And then we manually position. So
yeah, so
I think
this is where things kind of fell apart for us, right? Because we got this running, but then we just grabbed like the top and left position of the eye. So
yeah, we were just trying to
that gives
get
us
it
what, like this point right here.
We were trying to get a success. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what we're doing right now is we're basically like we take this eye, and then we're manually offsetting it for the particular image that we put it on, and manually setting the width and manually setting the rotation. So we want to rewrite all of this.
Yeah.
To actually use the face, and that way it'll auto position the mask on anybody.
So I think what we should do here is all this math is going to come out of here. It's going to go up into some. So up there where we start grabbing the Lisa Left Eye Lopez. So right there, let's go ahead and let's create a function to get all of our overlay values. This is where we can sort of abstract away the concept of like,
okay, so
we're just going
to pull this out here, right? So we're creating a function, and we're calling it what?
Get overlay values. Do awesome math.
Awesome math.
Naming things is hard.
And this is going to use. Are we passing in like the left eye, or are we passing in? Like...
No, let's pass in all the landmarks.
Yeah. Okay, so this will take the landmarks.
Right.
And then in here, we're going to do math.
Yes.
Do maths.
I like to do maths. We do it for our friends across the pond.
Okay.
And then actually in doing a course on this, I keep wanting to say math, and then I want to say maths, and then so the middle ground for me is I say mathematics, which they both have to say, right?
Oh, that's smart.
And that's what I do. I think that's where maths comes from. It's mathematics, the plural. So.
Okay. So here, we're not using this yet, so it's showing as unused.
Right.
So we're gonna have to rewrite pretty much all of this. But for now, let's just get up here and figure out what we're doing with our maths.
Yeah, and so we can use and abuse the fun stuff that comes in from face detection. So we can grab the left eye, we can grab the right eye. I'm not sure.
Okay, so the landmarks get left eye.
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
Is that auto completing for us? Remember, that's where we went off the beaten path. Like things weren't. Right eye. Yeah, we can get the jawline. That's going to give us the width of the face, I think.
What's that one called?
It's jawline will be get jaw outline.
Get jaw outline. Okay. And then from here, we
can start.
Well, so let's talk through our math.
Yeah.
So before we kind of go anywhere here, the jaw outline gives us like this line here.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the eyes give us like 6 points
Yep.
around the eyes. And if we look at, we can kind of see what this looks like. There's a demo running here. So this is like the jaw outline.
Yeah.
And then we get the eyes here. And so the first point is the furthest left one. And on the jaw, it's the same. First point is the furthest left one. And then it kind of goes around in a circle. So we want to figure out the width from here to here, because we're going to use that to determine the width of the overlay.
Yes. Yep.
And then we need to figure out the angle from here to here,
Yep.
so that we know how to turn the mask to fit on their face.
Yep.
And everything else is going to be derivative off that, right? We need to figure out.
Yeah.
Like,
Once we've got like what angle this is at, and we've got how big to make it, I think like the mask is going to be pretty put on there. And then
yeah.
like this is that classic. Don't run away, everybody. This is the simple trig stuff.
Yeah, and I will, like, full disclaimer, we did this math ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
made sure,
It's
like, we were like, okay, I'm not good enough at math to feel confident doing math on the fly. So let's practice first, make sure we've got the math, and then
yeah.
we can go in and like show how this is done. So
I will be honest. Yesterday after the thing, I was like, wow, I kept messing with it, and then I was like, okay, we've got the hypotenuse, we've got
yeah.
opposite adjacent. I was like, sine is opposite over adjacent, and we're like, oh no, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. And I was like, what's opposite over adjacent? And I'm googling basic
I
trig.
like legitimately don't even, like, when you say trig to me, what happens in my brain is it goes trig. That's trigonometry. That's as much as I know about trig.
Yeah. Yeah, I always have to look that stuff up. I was talking to Morgan, who's a PhD at Infinite Red, and I was like, "Oh yeah, well, do you still?" She likes calculus. I was like, oh, "Do you? I mean, do you still memorize all the like the derivatives of trig functions?" And she's like, "I might not know them, but I could figure them out." I was just like, "What?"
Not I.
You would figure out trig again rather than like doing the memorization. I was like, there's definitely some stuff. So if you're one of those people, kudos to you.
No,
Uh,
here's what happens whenever I need math. I go to Stack Overflow and I
uh-huh.
say, what is the math to determine, like, insert thing I need to know? And somebody's written the math, and I just trust them and copy paste it.
I'm worse. I go to those websites that look like they were made by a third grader, and they've got the pictures. They're like, "Don't worry, math is fun. How far did Joey throw the ball?"
Okay. So let's do this. Here we go. We are going to.
Yeah.
So we want to grab the first thing we need is the first jawline point and the last
Yes.
jawline point. So like from
Yeah.
here to here.
Ah, well done. Did you mirror that for the audience?
Did I? No, I actually think I just did it wrong on my own.
Oh, I was impressed. I was like, this guy's a performer.
So we need the left point,
Yeah.
and then we need the right point.
Yeah.
And so the left one's easy. That's just the first point in
Yeah.
the jawline. Um,
Yes.
the second
And then
one is going to be
because
the.
JavaScript's so fantastical, you to get the last point.
Wait, are you being facetious or are you
Yeah,
being?
I am. Because to get the last point in array is a big pain point for me. I'm sorry. It, I know you know the trick to splice and
Mhm.
grab the last one. But in Ruby, you would just give it the index -1 and it would know what to do. So I'm still a little
Is that
bit
a real
pained.
thing?
Yeah, in
That's
Ruby,
oh, that's cool.
dude, it obviously it knows. Like if you want to go backwards on an array, it's like sure, go backwards on an array. I love
That's
Ruby, and the more JavaScript becomes like Ruby, the more I love JavaScript. Sorry,
that's.
I know that those two are fighting fields in some ways, but that's going away. Everybody loves this stuff.
Hey, what's up, Eco? You can check our math. So
Yes.
the next thing that we need to do is we need to calculate the distance between these two. So
Yeah.
we're gonna call that
The
jaw
the
length.
length. Yeah.
That's probably like if anybody is a medical professional, they're probably cringing. Right? That's not what a jaw length is. And you
And this is
are
the
correct.
yeah. And now we just do the Pythagorean theorem: a squared plus b squared is c squared. So what we need to do is we need to take the square root of the differences in x squared.
So that's square root. Okay.
Yeah, squirt.
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 So x squared
Yeah,
means I'm gonna do math pow
if
exponent.
you want to,
Yeah, raised to the power. Yeah,
dude, use
I
the power.
I have the power.
Now you're playing with
So we
power.
would need to add code.
All right, so I'm gonna take it's the difference from
It's
jaw right dot
yeah,
x
yeah. We grab the right.
minus
Yes, I like that.
jaw left dot x,
Yeah,
and then we're gonna raise that to the power of 2.
yeah.
And then we're going to add to that,
You're gonna want to grab basically do the same thing,
but
we're gonna
for
do
the
it for the
y.
differences in y.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, teach me. I'm going to look up the Pythagorean theorem because
Yeah,
I know it, but it's really hard to. It's just
No
very hard to
worries.
like understand this without looking at a picture.
Go. Let's go to one of those ugly websites or something. Oh yeah, it's perfect.
This.
So yeah, this
Is
is
this?
the good old classic. So what we're doing is those eyes are measured in right angles like this.
Uh
Right.
huh.
So we have our y coordinate, and we have our x coordinates, and what we want to do is we want to get that line that completes the two. Like that's the difference. That's how much our eyes are. So if you take a look at my eyes for a second here, and then we're judging if we're judging like how far they're apart when I'm looking at you, we could take this eye point and this eye point, and then if I do this, technically, if you're judging by the x's, at sometimes they'll be like the x's are coming closer and closer together and they'll
Right.
touch. So if I were to just say like if you're taking your jawline, the more I tilt my head, the smaller it would think my face is.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh,
let me actually just disable this real quick so we're not looking at the overlay.
yeah.
So here we want to measure this distance, and if
Actually,
it was
we're doing the jaw. Sorry.
oh, we're doing the jaw. So if the jaw was perfectly level, we would just be able to say like x minus y, but because
An x.
or yeah x minus x. So but because we're at this slight angle,
Yes.
we need to figure out what the distance is from here to here and the
Uh-huh.
distance from here to here, and then this is the hypotenuse,
Triangle,
that
yeah.
like that distance there. And so using the Pythagorean theorem, we've got
Yeah.
this is the width across, this is
Mm-hmm.
the width up and down, and then this would be the actual angle of the eyeballs. And if we
jaw.
yes, face, the angle of the face. And so when we do the x's times like x's to the power of 2,
Oof,
y's
all right, so that's exciting.
y's to the power of 2, and then we get the square root of that. That gives us this distance here, and then we
Yeah.
know what the like how far across the jaw is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's it.
So that is the most advanced math lesson I've ever taught.
That's
and
awesome.
I feel like that was some 101 stuff. But it's like I feel like it's important to visualize that stuff because otherwise I'm just like, why am I typing math and then I'm typing more math and then I'm typing more math?
Right.
Like what did that actually do? And so that is a kind of a visual indication of what we just did.
It's good. Like Trig's like the perfect thing for. I'll say like anytime people start like getting scared of Trig, like as computer people,
Hold on.
like that's sort of the one that we need.
Is the Pythagorean theorem, is that trigonometry?
Um,
That's geometry,
yeah,
I
well,
thought.
so it's geometry, but I'll say like trig comes in when you talk
Eco is
about the
saying it's
angles a
trig.
little bit. So that angle that you have there, so that is geometry.
All right,
But then you
chat.
have
Chat
the
says we're doing trig, so I'm. You know what? I'm gonna take the win. I'm doing trig.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Golf clap.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
So, all right. Next. So we
Well
have
done.
the. I appreciate you having that on hand. So, okay. So we have our jaw length. So after we get our jaw length, we need to determine the angle of the face, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we also need to determine a couple other things. Oh, we need to determine our left and top offset so that it sits properly on top of the face.
Right. So we could figure out. We could use the eyes to figure out the angle. We could use the jaw to figure out the angle. Actually,
Yeah, let's do that probably.
because we already have the jaw, right? So why not? Let's go wildly into this, and if we err, we will go look at notes.
Okay. So what we actually need then is we need we need the distance. Talk me through the math on this because
Yeah, no worries. So now we need to figure out that angle, right?
yeah.
And if you look it up, there's this classic thing where if you want to figure out this angle constantly called theta, right? And this is how much we're going to tilt something. And you have a right triangle, which is what we have. Then you could say like, okay, if we want to figure this out, sine.
This is the site that I needed to be on.
Let's see. Oh, this is doing like arc sine and arc. Oh man,
Dude, I don't. What is this? No, this doesn't mean anything
no,
to
this
me.
is not what you want, right?
Okay, so find me a triangle. What's the
Yeah, so like
sciencing? Let's do some sciencing.
Dude, the sites they show you are way different from the sites that come up for me. Mine.
What
look
is
like
all this?
little
Get this
kids.
crap out of here! Like, what? Okay, there's too much math here. Like, show me
Let
a
me get you
drawing
a simple site.
for children is
Science.
what I want. Like, teach me like I'm 3 years old. Mathisfun.com. This seems helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Yes, this is what I wanted.
This is looking good. Okay. So sine, cosine, and tangent, right?
Yes.
So we're trying to figure
Wait.
out that angle right there. And you see that one that they're showing right there where X is
This
at
one?
the top?
This is
Yeah.
the angle that we want.
Yeah. So you've got the hypotenuse, which is the one we figured out. That's that long one. That's the ladder. The ladder is the hypotenuse.
Right. So this is the angle of the jaw. Like we just talked about how to get this. We're taking the distance between the x and y and the distance between the
hypotenuse and
or,
distance.
yeah, x's and the y's. That gives us our straight lines, and the hypotenuse is the connecting point. So we actually have what we need to use this, and we need to calculate this angle.
This little angle. And now that we have all three sides, we can do it a bunch of different ways. We can do it with there's two of them that use the hypotenuse we've calculated.
Okay.
Sine and cosine. And then there's the one that just uses the two things that we have, the x and the y coordinates.
Okay.
So perfect. There you go. So we have opposite and adjacent, which is going to be our x's and our y's. See, they're laying down flat. This is a perfect angle. So this is if the person
So
had their
like
head
this would be
tilted.
the jawline.
Right. And the person has their head tilted a little bit to the side. So we have how much along the x-axis on this one, which would be the adjacent, and we have how much on the y-axis, which is the opposite. So we can figure out that angle, how much we're supposed to tilt the mask, which right there is theta.
This is theta.
Yeah.
Is this is a symbol for theta? It's not like a styly zero.
Dude, it's a zero wearing a really tight belt. If it tightens that belt anymore, it becomes an 8. So it's okay. Dad jokes.
Good.
We have there you go. SOHCAHTOA. I don't know if you've ever been told that word.
Should we focus up? Should we write some code?
We're attempting to focus up. I'm trying to learn.
You get out of here with your so SOHCAHTOA. All right, so I would use tangent
tangent.
we have opposite and adjacent. Although
Okay.
we did just calculate the hypotenuse, so we could use any of those three. But if we want to use tangent,
Yeah,
right
whatever.
now,
Let's use tangent because that
yeah.
seems kind of on brand for this stream. Is lots of tangents. I'll take that win.
So,
So to calculate a
we-
tangent, we do.
opposite over adjacent. So
Okay,
could
so we
do-
actually need to do something here. So I'm going to say this is going to come
or save
out.
these.
So let's just use like math terms. We'll say opposite, or this would be adjacent because it's on the ground.
Depends on which one you do. The x's will be
X's is adjacent. So adjacent is that. Opposite is going to
Yeah.
be this. Okay, and then we can clean these
Right.
up and say adjacent
see.
and opposite.
Take that, mathematicians.
All
And
right.
clean up.
And then down here, we want to figure out the angle, and
Yeah.
that is going to be
Math.tangent.
tangent, and that's
And it'll be opposite over adjacent.
opposite. Is it like over adjacent?
Divide by, yeah. And that'll give us a decimal point, so we'll have to multiply it by 100.
What? Why are we?
It'll like give you an angle of like 0.35, which will be a 35-degree angle. But in the end
But
here,
if it was like, so let's say it was, will it go over 180 or would it just like change?
yeah, I think it could possibly continue rotating.
But
no. The domain of tangent, I think, is going to be up to like 360, and then it loops around.
Okay.
But someone
Okay.
else someone check me on that one. But yeah, multiply it by 100. So that means if it gave you 35, then that means, or 0.35, blah 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 blah, then it would bring up to a 35-degree rotation. Because when we put this into CSS,
Right.
we'll need it to be whole numbers, not.
So we're just gonna do like math.
Yeah, do a math.
Should I round?
Or round, or either way.
Whatever. We'll round.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have an angle,
Yeah, we've got the angle.
and then we need. Oh, we need
So
to
we-
figure out the offset. And so
Yes.
the other thing that we need is when we if I uncomment this now, when we put this in here, let me actually show what is being done without this. So we've got the left eye, or this is going to give us overlay values. So I need the left eye.
We'll have to return them too.
Yeah, so we need to return our overlay values are going to be, we need the width,
So, yep.
which is going to be the jaw line or the jaw length. We need the angle, and then we need the left offset, which will be the left eye first point dot x, and the top offset, which will be the left eye first point dot y. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means we don't actually need the right eye, so we can drop that out entirely. Okay. And if that all breaks, so then we need to actually use this. So we're going to pull out the overlay values, and we need the left and top offset. So
Yeah.
let's do, this one is going to be overlay values left offset dot pixels. We'll do the same thing for this one, but with the top offset. And then for the width, we'll set overlay values dot width. And here we want to rotate by overlay values dot angle. Okay, so this is going to look kind of right, but mostly wrong because these offset values are incorrect,
Right.
I think. So let's try it. Something's missing. Beard is not defined. Where did I have beard? Container
Oh, we renamed it there, yeah. Overlay.
Okay. Try that one more time.
Okay.
Okay. So several things are wrong here.
Yes.
One, this is way too big. And our
Mm-hmm.
offsets are clearly not right. So the problem that we're running into is that this image is scaled, but
Yes.
Face API is using its original value.
Mm.
So we need to determine a scale.
Yeah.
And then we need to figure out the offset as well. So let's get the scale first because that's going to be more
Yep.
obvious. So the
scale's going to be super easy.
scale goes down.
Put it right underneath.
Here.
Yeah, yes, perfect.
So the scale is going to be, what is it? It's image.width is what's actually on the screen.
Yeah.
And then it just gives us what its full size is, right?
Yeah, that's a natural width.
And so we wanted width divided by natural width, or
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we want. So
yeah,
image.
So if it's scaled down half, then we take the new width divided by its natural width, and that'll give us 0.5.
So like if we're looking at here,
yeah,
we've got 400 divided by 800, which is 0.5. So our scale is 0.5.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Then what happens is we can use the scale. We can multiply that to
all the values.
Our left, our top, our width,
but not the angle, obviously, because
right.
that would be silly.
And then what that'll do is like whatever size this image has been, we'll be able to change the image size as long as set. So let's see here.
Okay, so that didn't do what we wanted. Oh, I forgot to set a pixel value. That'll.
Oh.
Okay, so let's reload. Okay, right, so that's closer, but we have an issue here where, so the problem that we've got is that we just resized this to be like jaw to jaw, or like jaw end to jaw end.
Yes.
But our image is actually bigger than that. So this is the width, which means that we need to correct for that.
For our image that we're using.
And to save us from having to calculate that, but I'll show you how we calculate it. So if I take this Figma doc and we look at it here, the image itself is 400 pixels wide, and this overlay is 192.5 pixels wide, because why not? And then if I take 192.5 divided by 400, we get this value. But what we actually want is 400 minus here, because we want the offset to be the outside. So this is the scale that we want.
By the way, the comments are hilarious.
Are people just like horrified at our math?
People talking about mini heart attacks of radians versus degrees. Like doing an entire test and then coming back later and finding that your calculator was set to radians instead of degrees, and they I failed the whole test.
Oh no.
That's hilarious.
Can I make an admission? I don't know. I don't know what a radian is. Is that based on 100?
No worries, man. I think it's in a car, and it keeps breaking. Something with the radiator. I don't know. No.
That's boo this man.
No. Radians are, instead of relating everything to 360 degrees, it's related to a relationship with pi. So 360 degrees is 2 pi.
Okay.
Yeah, because we like to torture ourselves. I don't know why pi actually exists. Does anybody actually know why we would do things in pi radians versus degrees? I don't know. We'll let the comments fight over that. I just knew we had to learn it. I still don't know why.
So I just realized that we did something wrong, and this is why we did the math ahead of time. I was checking my notes. So what we actually want is we want the scale to be how much wider than the face it is. So it's not a smaller value. It's actually, we want to multiply it times whatever the difference is. So we get it about here. And what I realized is that we want to err on the side of being wider than the face, because if it's too narrow, it looks goofy. But if it's too big, it just
Yeah.
kind of looks funny. So
Yeah.
we are going to take the width, and to make it match our full image, we're going to multiply it by about 2.2.
Hmm.
And so this immediately should start to look better.
So everybody working on your plastic injection mask company, take note. You want your masks to be a little bit. If you're going to error just a little bit, error a little bit bigger than most faces. Yep.
So yeah, so check this out. Now that we've done that, we've done that, and it looks much closer. And if we kind of drag this over, like it's
Ah,
too big for her face, but note that the eyes are pretty much right on.
yeah.
We rounded the radian, or the angle, so it's like pretty. It's like a little bit off, but like this is not noticeable, right, for what we're doing. So we've
Dude, this is an
now.
awesome screenshot right here. I have to. That looks really cool. One second, I'm taking this. Hold
Oh
that.
wait, it also it unrotated it, so that just shows that this
Oh
face
yeah,
is
it unrotates
it's
it a little bit
it's
too.
close enough to being level that it just looked okay.
Nice.
But yeah, so anyway, so we can see though that this is like pretty close to the size of her face. We made it a little bit bigger so that the mask, if you were gonna wear a mask, you would want it to be a little bit bigger than your face.
Hmm.
And so now we want to adjust for the left and top
Left and the
offset,
top.
because what we're doing is we've set a left and top offset. So the rotation here, if I turn this off, actually, so let's go take the rotation off. We can see that the image itself is set at the left eye, so the corner
Hmm.
of the left eye. So we need to drag it back up here, and we're going to do that by controlling for putting the eyeball in this left eye. We want it to
Hmm.
be in the top left position like that.
Yeah.
So that means we need to do the math to figure out how far back from here is this top left corner, so both up and left. Um, and to save us some stress, I figured this out ahead of time.
Good.
And so the scale, and we're using scale because it's going to change on us. So the thing that we want is the left eye x, or
Hmm.
wait, we don't want it from the left eye. We want it.
Um.
We want. So I figured this out from the jaw left. And so basically what I did was I figured out if this is the left side of the jaw, we want to be
Uh-huh.
able to bring it up. So it was the exact same calculation, but to bring the left side up so that the left jaw ends up here.
Perfect.
So that's just like same math, but slightly different. And
Yeah.
like the numbers are a little different. So I use jaw left dot x.
And that's a good thing to grab. Like we have certain features. I'd say like the mask should start at a jaw, not really based off of an eye. It's your masks are going to fit on your face, right? So
Right. And so
you're going to want to go
then
ahead and yeah.
So then what I figured out is that I wanted it to be this distance here, which I
Yeah,
figured
from
out
the
is about
template.
27%. So we take the jaw length. Wait, do I need it to be?
Yeah, and then
Oh, I
times,
need it. I need it to be this.
If it's 27%.
It's got to
times
be.
27.
It's got to be scaled. So we need to actually have access to it. So we're going to set the width here. So we're going to use that width, and then here it's going to be jaw left minus the scaled width, and we'll just get 27% of that width. And then here is going to be the same thing, but from the jaw left.
So
Oh,
what's happening?
no.
No, this one your tops you're going to care about your eyes because the jaws will stop here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's undo that real quick.
And I'll just
So
kind of mention for everybody while you're kind of going, well, just this is because this template has padding built into it, right? It has like empty space built into this template.
mhm.
So that way you could add hats. And actually, I almost argue you probably need more space for hats.
Yeah, honestly, like we may, when we start putting in more hats, find that we need to add significantly more padding.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are doing we need to figure out the head can be tilted either way. So if I'm tilted this way, then my right eye is higher. If I'm tilted this way, my left eye is higher. But I still need to figure out where to put the image. And what I actually want is the average between the eyes, because I want the image to be centered here, so that when it rotates, the eyes end up in the right places. Cool. So what I'm going to do then is I need to get this point of the right eye, which is like the furthest point, and then this point of the left eye, which is like the first point. And then we're going to figure out which one, or we're just going to get the average of those.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Okay. The way that I'm going to do that then is
No.
I
And
was
while you're
wrong.
doing that,
We do need the right eye.
See, depth perception's fun. We're good.
Okay.
And I'll say, like, that's definitely a good solution for this. One of the things we could have brought in here as well is, like, so if you're trying to get the top of the eyes, the y-axis, like, definitely get that. But, like, I'd say, like, one of the things we
Should
could
we
do...
focus up? Should we write some code?
Oh, no. Fine, we'll just
So
write
rude,
some code,
isn't
not
it?
talk
It's so
about
rude.
it.
No, you know what? Don't let the chat bully you like that. You say what you had to say,
Right.
Gant.
We're gonna talk. You know what? We're gonna go back and we're gonna talk about derivatives.
Okay, so here's another point that I want to make. What I'm using here is if we zoom in on one of these, you can see that there are 4 points along the top. So this one's 0, 1, 2, 3. I want to position along. I guess it doesn't matter. I want to position it right in the center, don't I? No, well, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab 1, 2, 1, 2.
We could also grab the first point of the nose.
Shut up, Gant. Damn it. That's probably smarter, isn't it? Okay, and you know what? That's gonna do. It's gonna do so much less. It's so much less work involved in that. So what's the nose command?
Let me. I lost my stuff while searching the Pythagorean Theorem here for a second.
Is it just get nose?
I think it's probably get nose. I would guess.
Yeah, it's just get nose. Wow,
Awesome.
That's weird when I'm super zoomed in. Okay, so I'm gonna do get nose, and then the offset y is just gonna be nose.y. No, it can't be that easy. Let's try it.
Well, this would be the first point.
Oh, but it needs to be offset, and the offset that we're gonna use is we want to get it to be. Where is it? I had my Figma here.
Yep.
So the offset that we want is like roughly here, which if I draw a little dot, then we can figure out that dot is about 195 down. So if I take 195 divided by 400, that's 48. So we'll say like roughly 48. So we want that to be, where is it?
So
this math would be minus width.
Minus the width.
Because it's square. I'm just basically like we know that the width and the height are the same.
Fair enough to cheat on that, yeah.
So then I'm going to use
48.
About 48. And upon doing that, what we hope will happen is that this is going to position properly now.
Survey says.
Show me. Oh wait, I screwed it up. Something went wrong because it's way off.
Oh, I see it down there.
Overlay value top offset times scale. What did I get wrong?
Let's see. Top offset.
Is the nose?
That would be significantly.
Oh! It's like I didn't get the first point. I just did
point.
the yeah. That's my fault. That was probably not a number, is why that got weird. There we go. Hey, so and I want it to be slightly lower than that. It's a little high, so let's do times 49.
Is that the right direction?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nope, that was worse. 47.
Yeah, you want to go closer. You want to go like 46, 47.
Okay, I'm happy with that. That's basically
Perfect.
positioned on our eyes. We've got the math and the angle is right. So now
Yeah.
I want to test this with some of our spooky Halloween masks. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
pull
we
up.
can test lots of faces, test
What
lots of.
your favorite was the pumpkin, right? So let's pull in the
I
pumpkin.
do like the pumpkin.
So I'm gonna drop in the pumpkin, and then in
Can we?
here
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun.
I'm gonna set this to be overlay pumpkin,
Yeah.
and let's reload.
Come on now.
Perfect.
Yes.
So now let's swap it out for another one. I'm gonna put the rest of these in here. So let's get these.
Oh yeah, these are so good.
And I'm gonna put these in here into our images folder.
Yeah.
And so now we can drop like any of these in. So let's try the clown, because this clown is really unsettling. Okay, so now any mask that I know it's terrible, isn't it?
Dude, I feel like I'm at an insane clown posse concert.
So what's really fun for this is now so I want to test it, and so to prep for that, I put together some markup so that you wouldn't have to watch me choose images, and the markup that I just grabbed some images from Unsplash, and so let's get all of these, and we'll just drop them in. So
our next contestant on Insane Clown Posse.
All right, so I'm gonna put all of these in here, and then we're gonna have to clean this up a little bit because I don't think our ref is gonna work anymore.
Right.
Okay. So we got a bunch of images in here, but I want to add some. I wrote some little styles to make this look a little less terrible. So let me take these styles, and I'm just going to drop them in at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to close this up because we don't really need this anymore. I love
how the hot reloading just is like, the mask lives here now.
Okay, so here's where it's going to get weird because we are no longer getting a single image. We're getting multiple images. So I want to get all images, and those images are going to be, let's see, inside grid item.
Yeah, I want to go through, like, it'd be great to do it to the whole website. So
I guess we can just get like image tags. I feel like this is going to go poorly.
Well, as long as like this runs once, it won't add images to the image tags, right?
So it's going to be image for each image. And then I can take this. We'll take all of this stuff.
You might need to make it async if you're bringing some of those in there.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
No, this should.
No, you're doing promises and everything. Okay, cool.
I mean, this might throw up. The other thing that's going to be a problem is that we are going into the container. So I actually think what we want to do instead of going into this container is we can do like, how do we want to do this? Because we want to like get the image and stick the, we want to stick the container next to it. We might end up hard coding this. So if I go and get grid items, then we could use the grid item as the container. And then we can put the overlay in it, and then we can like sub-select in here. So let's do that instead.
Yeah, with a little bit of time, we could probably come back and have it actually swap out containers for people, and like put it containers with every image.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. But let's do it this way for now. Yeah. We'll do, because I actually think this is fun enough that we should make it possible for people to throw their own masks in and like install this on their site, because I think that'll be so much fun. So we've got an item, and then I want to get the image is going to be the item dot query selector image. Okay. And so now the item is going to be our container. So we're going to stick it in like that. And I think that'll just work. Nope. Cannot read property width of null. On what line?
It's like the second I show up.
Image width. That should work, right? Let's just drop in the item and the image and see if we're getting what I thought we were getting. It doesn't get even close to that, so I'm missing. Oh, you were right. It needs to be async.
Yep.
Okay, so let's try that again. We get our images.
Oh.
And it sticks all of them onto this. Okay, so that's not ideal.
This lady right here is clowning. Just her.
All right, so let's make the grid item position relative. Okay, so that's better. So now we can see. This is going to look goofy because it doesn't reposition, but let's zoom in a bit. You going to do it? Did it break?
That's it. We're done clowning around.
Okay, something broke.
Yeah, how did it work just a second ago?
Oh,
what'd you do?
we're doing something in here. Are we setting the class wrong? This is my fault. I said a bunch of. I wrote like regular markup. So let's do class name.
Yeah. That's strange. Oh, they showed up. They just got angry first.
Is that gonna work?
And
what's this?
like
WebGL.
we come back to it and they're there.
What's okay? So here we can see it working. Cross origin. Oh.
Gotta go set. Oh, you've got to change all those to
the Reacty.
Reacty. Yeah, that's one of the things. Like when you build stuff, you just and you throw it into React. There's always that little sneak. There we go.
Redundant.
Everybody's a clown.
Use the words image, photo, or picture. What's it?
Don't worry about that.
Shut up. That is.
Yeah, you can't say photo by.
Whatever. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Trying to give people credit for their work, and you're acting like a jerk. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted, I don't know why this is so.
This is perfect.
It's like
Let's
super.
get some other masks.
It's super constrained though, and I don't want it to be.
What's that?
Oh, I think this is why. There we go. So now these should be like a normal size. There we go. That's much better.
Okay.
So we've got these images,
Mm-hmm.
and they should just work.
Yeah, it's taken. It does seem to take a little while. There's definitely.
No, now it's breaking again.
Something...
What the hell? What is?
No,
yeah.
Show up.
What? Yeah, but what is this? Tainted canvases. What the hell is a tainted canvas?
Oh man, it's like Tainted Love, but it's a little.
It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke that you're making.
Refresh, like hard refresh, rather than saving and having to do a thing like that. Yeah.
Okay, so then it works.
I think what's happening here is hot reloading is doing something.
Okay, so if I hard refresh.
Yeah, and then.
It's almost like it doesn't like it when the console's not open.
Screw it. Leave the console open. We can figure that out.
Yeah, how weird is that whatever. Well, we will solve that problem. So this is fun.
That is awesome.
The next thing that I thought would be fun is if this image was like any image, right? So I want to be able to drop in a whole list of masks.
Yes.
And I want to be able to just grab those. So let's create this array.
Yeah.
And so we've got what are our overlays? I've got a blue monster. Got the clown. We've got Frankenstein. We've got.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
A mummy. Oops. Pumpkin. We've got the red monster.
This is why
And
we couldn't wait to do this. We have to stay close to Halloween. If we rescheduled and we
It
did
would be
this
neat
like
if
right
this
in
just
front
worked.
of right in front of Christmas or something like that, it'd be weird.
yeah, although it will be fun to do like holiday themes, right?
Holiday hats.
So I want to be able to pass in my own set of
Yeah.
images. So right now this isn't going to do anything, but what we can do up here is add
Do a little
in. Oh,
randomizer.
you know what we also did was we got rid of the need for a container.
Yay!
So I'm just going to skip this container, which means we don't really need it at all anymore. So let's just clean up our mess. We're not going to use that container anymore. And we could probably make this more Reacty, but honestly, I'm kind of happy with it being.
Yeah, I think it's fair to actually have it. I mean, if you're going through and messing with images, it'd be weird to be like, but you better use React.
Yeah. So the thing that we will want to do is clean up like what the containers are. But I think we're okay with that for now. So let's write a little function to get a random mask.
Okay.
We'll get a random mask.
That's well named.
And
that was way better than I was going to come up with.
That's going to take the array of masks, and it's going to return.
Remember this trick, huh?
Yeah, I
So
know
an
how to.
index is like you want the number of masks times random.
Yeah, number of masks times random.
And then you do a math.floor on that.
Okay, so the index is
If
masks
anybody wants to talk about how
length
that works. Yeah.
times
Times math.random.
math.random.
And then you're going to need to...
We need that to be a whole number.
Yep.
Okay, and so the way that works is that math.random gives us something between 0 and 1. Does it ever actually give 1? Because that would break this.
No.
Okay.
No, it can never give 1.
Okay. So then what'll happen is we do 0 point something times the length, which will give us like, 1.25555 something, and we round that down always to like 1, and then that'll give us the first mask in the array. If it could break, we'll fix it later. Somebody open an issue. So then once we have our index, we can return masks.
Almost
index.
all programming languages .randoms will do between 0 and 1 without ever actually doing 0 and 1. But I think somebody in the comments said I think it is 0, including 0 and 1. So I don't know. Oh, they're saying include 0 up to 1.
Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
I didn't pass in the masks.
What'd you do? So it's giving us random images.
It should give us random images now.
And yes.
All right, so that wasn't as random as I wanted, but I mean,
Who wrote this random function?
Shut up. That's better.
Yeah.
So this time, everybody.
High five. Yes, that is awesome. This is super. All right, I just gotta take a second. This is like really cool. If we went to a website on Halloween and it did this, I'd be really happy.
But we can see like this did exactly what we wanted, right? So now each person is wearing a mask. You can see their eyes through the mask.
Did that just work?
It's resizing to be like the right size for their head, and this just makes me deeply happy. Like this really brings a lot of joy to my heart. So I'm just like, I'm totally thrilled that this worked, and I'm really glad that we took the time to play with this yesterday and decided to do a follow-up, because like what we did yesterday was fun, but it wasn't like a thing. This is like a thing.
We never got
right?
to the end. Yeah.
Okay, so Ecomath is asking me to try math.atan instead of math tangent, and I like straight up don't know what that means. Okay, so
do an arc tangent.
Eco, write me a function that uses the values that I have, because I don't know what you're asking me to do.
While Eco's doing that, I just want to say, like, we've got so many bad ideas happening now. I just want to salt and pepper people's ideas for the cool shit we can make. Stuff that we can make with machine learning and web. Is that we talked about how we could do stuff when it gets closer to the holidays.
Uh-huh.
There's a body pose estimator model which will like if I do this or like whatever, it'll pose my body. We could then
What?
use that to like
Pose?
put.
How does it pose your body?
Oh, it can identify what my body poses are. It's like here's your arm from here to here, and this and that. Like it identifies. So like we're identifying landmarks of a face. It identifies like landmarks of your body, and that means we could make a bad sweater website app that would just find bodies
Oh,
and
ugly
then
sweaters
put
would
ugly
be,
sweaters on you. And just like
dude. Okay, all right. We're putting this on the books. Let's do a holiday sweater episode. Hold on. I need someone to teach me what's going on. So Eco is saying, well, hold on. Okay, so now I'm getting mixed reports here. So JR Gould is saying that I should use ATAN 2, and Eco is saying that I should use ATAN, and I don't know what either of them means.
I can help you here. What I'll say is that you live in the Northwest and you are pale. So everybody's thinking like you need to definitely get some more tan. Maybe like get a tan twice is what they're optioning here. So
Good.
yeah, spray on. It's good enough.
Okay. So is this the math you want me to use, chat? I'm trying it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Great work, chat. You did a really good job. So I just
like
need
it.
to like
I like it.
minus 90.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, this looks. Yeah. But the other one was better. The other one got a better angle.
Yeah, I would say well, we did build it. Well, no, yeah, I think you're right. I think this is tilted the wrong way. This is actually a mirror of what it should be, because if what's happening here is her face was slightly tilted this way, and then that one is slightly tilted the other way.
Okay. Trying it again.
Maybe plus 180.
Oh, this time that's just me. All right.
We're gonna see. There you go.
Okay.
Wolf woman.
I believe you.
It's everybody gets some math today.
All right, y'all. So this is cool. Like, both of these work. The chat believes ATAN 2 is better. I don't know why. So I will put that in. If somebody wants to open a pull request explaining why the hell that happens. And with that, I think, Gant, we need to call this. You are over time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, dude, I love it. This was a great success. I'm really glad that you and me both got the bug yesterday.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep building this thing, and then we're gonna get there. And this is totally worth it. I think I can't wait to see what people keep coming up with, because I mean, with face detection, it's just such a silly thing, and it's such a cool thing, and there's so many applications. But this is where I think people learn. Like shows like yours, adding masks to people. I don't think I would have pulled up any kind of arctangent stuff on my own today without us sort of, taking a look at really cool masks. So yeah. I would love to maybe eventually move this off to an open source repo so that we can actually make this a thing for not just your site, but everybody.
Yeah, we should totally do that. So you and I will coordinate that offline. Thank you, everybody. Chat, hang out. We're gonna raid Gant. We've run through your links before, but just a speed run here. Go follow Gant on Twitter at Gant Laborde. He has a website that he's definitely going to convert to SSL soon at gantlaborde.com. And he also has an AI 5-day free mini course if you want to learn more about how that works. I'm going to throw that link into the chat.
Awesome.
So go do that. It's super fun. I think Chris Biscardi was talking about doing this AI course on his stream. So also go sub to Chris. So here's Chris Biscardi. Spelled it right on the first try. Yeah, so here's Chris's Twitch. Go sub to that. You can go watch all those. Okay, thanks everybody. This was super fun. We will see you next time.
Yeah.